Okay, this meeting of the Historic District Commission will take place in a webinar format through Zoom. Chair of the commission is Sarah Moriarty. Host of the webinar is the building officials. Staff attending this meeting include Peter Zavinglis and Linda Galetta. Anyone speaking should state their names prior to speaking each time. The panelists in this webinar meeting will be the commission members and building staff. Panelists who would like to comment on an icon should indicate such by using the icon to raise hand at the bottom of the screen. After a panelist raises their hand, they'll be able to comment one at a time when called upon by the chairperson. Panelists should mute their microphones until called upon. Panelists calling into the meeting by telephone may raise or lower their hand by pressing *9. To mute or unmute your call, press *6. To make a motion or second a motion, commission members can raise a hand to be acknowledged by the host or chair. To vote on a motion, commission members will be called upon individually by the chair to vote. The public can participate in the meeting during the public communications agenda item. The public will be asked to raise their hand during public communications if they want to speak at this time by using the icon to raise hand at the bottom of the screen. The public will be called upon and the host one at a time and be able to speak during this time. Attendees must identify themselves prior to speaking.
Thank you. So I will call the meeting to order on January 4th at 7:04. And I believe we have a full board, so we don't need to appoint anybody. So I will ask Todd to read the call.
Dear Matt, please publish the following public notice for one insertion on Monday, December 27th, 2021. Town of Groton notice of public hearing, Historic District Commission. The Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, January 4th, 2022 at 7 p.m. virtually via the Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriateness. HDC 21-58, 56 West Main Street, Fotini Zalepos owner, Stefan Nusuopoulos applicant, outdoor deck addition and alterations, PIN number 2619183069272. A Zoom meeting link will be posted to the town's website meetings calendar or can be attended by visiting www.zoom.us, webinar ID 820-377-6662, password 246543, or by phone 1312-626-6799. Access to electronic equipment at the Town Hall Annex for the purposes of attending, participating in the meeting shall be provided to any member of the public who provides a written request to the Office of Planning and Development not less than 24 hours prior to the meeting. Applications are on file and available for public inspection during normal business hours at the Planning Department, 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut. Dated this 27th day of December 2021 at Groton, Connecticut. Todd Brady, Secretary.
Thank you. So I will call the first application, HGC 21-53, 5 Water Street, Sift Real Estate LLC, owner Adam Young, applicant, roof and pergola. I didn't see anybody in the audience.
We received an email that they're rescinding this for right now until they figure out what they're going to do.
Okay. So rescinding means we don't even need to continue it, correct, Peter?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. All right, so I will move on to HTC 21-54, 20 Pearl Street, John McCarrick, owner applicant, fencing. Did I see Mr. McCarrick? I don't see him. Was there any communication from Mr. McCarrick to the town? No?
You're not receiving correspondence from them.
Okay. Then we'll just skip this one, and if he shows up, we'll go back to it at the end. Otherwise, we'll continue it. HTC 21-55 to Eldridge Street, John and Caroline Crowley, owners, Zachary Hughes, applicant.
Their designer was the one coming.
Yeah, I would be surprised.
I did receive an email from him today with some updated drawings. I don't know if that was enough for you guys to look at to make a determination on or not, if he had to explain anything else other than
Okay.
that.
So do you think that that submission was hopefully that we could review it without him appearing?
Yeah, potentially just pictures. So I guess unless you guys have questions on the picture, on the photos you gave.
All right, well, if I recollect, and we can try it and we'll go through it if you want to
He
scroll
was
through
going to give
application.
us a list of materials.
I think that was the only thing that we were missing was that. Yes, Bonnie.
This is what he gave today. It was and he got it in last minute today also. So it was not exactly giving us plenty of time.
Gotcha.
Let me move that up top. There we go. All right, so can you guys see that?
Yeah.
So this was the only addition that he had, Peter?
No, I got two other pictures. to
Oh,
show
okay.
other than this, but
Let's see.
it's the rear elevation. He's got a right elevation and a left elevation. So
And it includes the decking.
he's got AZAC composite with TimberTech stone ash decking on there. Just let me know when you want me to switch screens.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Are we okay with the vinyl just because it's vinyl on the house?
I think it's actually,
Personally, I am. I don't,
Metal, it's metal. On
yeah,
the
so I think it's aluminum.
Okay,
Looks a lot better.
yeah,
yeah, those are the same. Well, no, maybe those transoms changed a little bit. They didn't have double, they were single, 4 singles over the double windows before the last meeting. Maybe he couldn't get that.
Let me know when you want me to move to the next one.
I'm good.
I'm fine.
Good.
Oh, no, that is the same windows. He didn't change them.
So these were the 3 additions, Peter?
That's what we received this afternoon, correct?
Would you, has everyone been able to look at these long enough?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Peter, would you be able to scroll through his original application?
Sure, hang on, so let me change.
Thanks.
he still has the original drawings in that application, which maybe we should X them out or do something because they're still there, even though he added the new ones. Just so they know we're not approving them. See, like that's the original. and he
Right.
Changed it. Or I guess we could just note not.
Well, we could include in the motion that we approve the drawings submitted at the time of the meeting on January 4th and not the earlier drawings attached to the application.
Okay. I think it has a deck though, doesn't it?
No, I think that where it was the deck.
Yeah, I know that was a brick patio. But
Well,
what's the track decks going on then?
The steps.
it's a landing with a step on it, I think.
Okay, okay. But that's not the right one. He redid them.
Right.
In these, and those are the same as the ones he's resubmitted, but it had the material list.
Just want me to keep scrolling through these?
If you don't mind, I'm just trying to refresh my memory.
Okay. So that's the deck they're covering over with this.
Yeah, there won't be any room for a deck. That's right. Oh. So that way, if you go back to that other picture, I mean, I know it's not in our purview as the historic district, but is there a certain distance from the river we have that the the permits can be approved? I mean, is he getting so close to the
That's
one?
close, that's camera review and zoning review, but not HTC.
Okay, okay.
Peter, can you go to the 2 side elevations for me, please?
This one?
Yeah, and then the other one. Okay, I guess I never, I think it looks a million times better. I guess I never realized they were removing that entire chimney. Okay,
What, where?
if you scroll to the
What
photo,
are these photos again?
Oh,
What chimney? Oh,
that
that's gonna stay.
it is.
Yeah, he's building the new thing right on top of the brick.
On top of
Not
that
the brick
patio.
chimney, the brick patio.
it's just not in the
He's
elevation.
not touching that side of the house at all.
Oh, so when I saw the 2 sides, I thought one was one side and one was the other.
It
No.
is, but it's out here, it's out past that.
Oh, I kept getting,
planter.
you're right. I'm sorry. I kept getting conceptually confused on that one. You're right. Okay, never mind.
It's on top of the
Yep.
brick.
And I even said that earlier and, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Oh, yeah, there's the chimney.
Yep. I don't,
The wrong window.
I'm fine with moving forward with this and not having the applicant here. I don't know how anyone else feels,
I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with
This
it.
is his 3rd or 4th time.
right?
Right.
Don and Eric,
Yeah, I'm fine.
Max? Okay, all right. Does anyone have any comments that they want to discuss before I close the public hearing on this application?
Just go up one more, Peter. Keep going up. Keep going. Keep going, Rose.
What are you looking for?
Oh, right there. Oh, stop. What's that weird thing that kind of juts out on the right-hand side there from
I
the
think
step?
the renderings are screwed up.
Okay, yeah. All right.
But we're not approving this drawing anyways, right?
No,
Right.
Yes.
Does anyone have any other things they want to look at before I close the public hearing?
no.
Okay. Would anyone in the audience like to speak for this application? Would anyone in the audience like to speak against this application? HDC 21-55 is closed. HDC 21-58, 56 West Main Street. I thought I saw someone in the audience for this application. Stephen, the architect?
Peter Springfield's out there. I don't know if he's doing it.
See his name down at the bottom there.
Yes, that's me. I'm sorry. Can you guys see me or?
We can hear you. We can't see you.
Okay,
Turn
very
your
good.
video on.
You can turn your camera on.
It is on. I'm not sure why it's not working. I can see you guys clearly.
You don't have a block in front of your lens. see?
Do you need to see me or?
No,
Nope.
Okay, very good then. Again, my name is Stefan Michopoulos. I'm the architect working with John Zalepos on this project. I don't have to explain to you guys how important outdoor seating is for restaurants nowadays, especially with this COVID thing that we have.
Mhm.
And it's also a big thing as far as Mystic is concerned, with the tourism and everything. So
Steven, can
John
you
was
speak
looking
up
at,
a little bit? Can you speak up a little bit? I have trouble hearing you.
do you want me to start over again or?
No, you can keep going, but
Okay. Again, I was just trying to emphasize how important the outdoor seating is for restaurants nowadays, especially with this COVID thing that we've been going through. And John is looking at the possibility of providing some outdoor seating, not necessarily not necessarily a lot of sitting, but just enough to say or advertise that he does have outdoor sitting and provide some of it. The only place, because of such a tight space that he's got with the site plan, we came across using the top of the to-go area of his restaurant, which has a very low sloping roof. We're planning to remove that part of that roof and provide some outdoor deck at that particular area. The rest of it is replacing the windows of his second floor dining room with operable folding windows to basically create an indoor-outdoor space of that particular area. And by doing that, we're providing the same rail that we have on the outdoor space following through to imply that that's part of the indoor-outdoor space instead of having windows all the way down to the floor. It's actually a very simple project what we're doing. I hope you have all the drawings so you can see what we're proposing. We're planning to shade the outdoor deck with sails. That look like sails. You know, we'll take them down when it's raining or high winds or whatever, but only when it's sunny they're going up. Access to the outdoor deck is from the existing second floor dining area that he has already. The elevation of that floor will be higher than the elevation floor of the existing dining room, only because of the existing structure that we have over the existing to-go area of his restaurant. I'm not sure how much I can tell you other than answer some questions. This particular drawing shows the existing elevation. It shows the existing low slope area which is part of it is coming out and where the deck is going to go. The lower photograph shows the proposed. The windows that we're showing on the proposed are the folding windows. The size of those are, the width are almost the same width. The height is going to be a 1.5 foot higher. So we're trying to capture as much as open space as possible when the windows open, but not necessarily change the look of the building. The other limitations we have with this particular windows that we're replacing is the existing structure that was introduced a few years back. And that limits us to the size of the windows, both in width and in height. So we'd like to get them as large as possible, but I think we're going to be limited with the existing conditions that we have there with the structure. And also with the fact that the ones that we're showing are standard size windows from this particular manufacturer that we're looking at. If we decide, if we wanted larger windows than what the manufacturer has as standard windows, you're paying a very high premium. So we're trying to avoid that also. Everything else stays the same outdoor finishes, the same outdoor colors. We're not changing anything other than, like I said, taking part of the low sloping roof and creating an outdoor deck there and replacing those existing windows with slightly larger windows, folding windows to give as much as opening as possible to create an indoor-outdoor space. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
I don't see a floor size of the deck. Like I don't see a plan of the new deck space.
You mean a floor plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do a floor plan yet because we're going to do that as part of the construction documents. The deck is approximately 27 by 24. Size.
On the west side of the deck, and I was just wondering, is that what is happening with those vents? It seems like you would need those for the.
Those vents are going to stay. Those exhaust fans are going to stay where they are. We're not relocating them. If you look at this particular drawing that's on the showing right now, there's a screen wall that's hiding those particular vents behind it.
Oh, okay.
And if you look at the elevation that shows the deck, you will see the relationship of those vents to the deck also. There's on the proposed elevation that we have. We're not touching, we're not relocating those. Like I said, we're only doing part of that sloping roof, not the whole roof. And
Gotcha.
we're not trying to create a huge sitting area, just a sitting area to say that we have outdoor sitting area.
Is that how those windows are gonna open?
Yes, we're trying to, by using folding windows, we get a maximum square foot opening. If we have them like the bifold windows, you still have glass on the top level and the bottom level. By doing it this way, you get the maximum opening that you can. And
The electronic or how? I've never seen a window like that.
these particular ones, because of their size, they're manual. You can open them yourself. If they get much larger, they do have a hydraulic electronic mechanism that helps you because they become heavy. So they help you. But this one's, because of their size, you can do it manually. They're not electronic. And by using the maximum opening again, what we're doing is we're providing the same rail within the window opening. So provide a guardrail basically, and gives that feeling of an indoor-outdoor space again.
So where that person in the fictitious drawing is standing, where their legs are, what is that, glass?
No, just an opening. And like I said, it's the same rail with the stainless steel wire rail that goes across. So it gives you the feeling of a deck, outdoor, like you're standing at a deck.
And then the window goes behind that?
In
when
front of
comes
it,
Down?
on the outside. The window comes on the outside.
Okay.
In other words, that particular wall, because of the existing structure that was introduced a few years back, is approximately 1.5 feet thick. So within that 1.5 feet thick, the windows that are folding will be introduced, and on the inside, the rail will be introduced. So when the window opens, it's out of the way. The rail is in front of it, and when the window closes, the rail is still in front of it.
Well,
What, do you have an idea approximately of the seating on the fully open deck there on the left? Just
25 seats, 25 seats maximum. And that's because if let's say a table of 4 has a guests of 4, you're never going to get that. You're going to get a table of 4 being occupied by 2 people or 3 people. But if every chair is occupied, you're talking about 25 people.
it's hard to read the small print. Do you have all the materials labeled on the railings and the side, the windows? called
Yes,
out?
we provided a whole list of that. I'm not sure if you have it. It's also shown on the elevation. We call it on the proposed
I
elevation.
know, I can't read it. It's so tiny. And I don't see the wires in that one elevation. That's why I was asking about it.
You're gonna see it now as we're scrolling down. Here you go.
Okay, there they are. Okay.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. That window looks like it comes in.
Correct. This particular, they're making both ways.
Oh, okay.
We can't have them opening in because if they open in, they will interfere with the rail that we're introducing on the inside.
Okay.
The rail will be in the way. So we're using these ones that are opening outside. The
Right.
reason we're showing both is to show you that it's very common in restaurants to use these windows, and they use them both ways.
Okay.
Is that the same kind of windows between the fully open deck and the existing second floor?
In this particular one, the picture that you're seeing, they're starting it from, I would say, 34 inches from the finished floor. We're going to be starting at approximately 12 to 14 inches from the existing floor. And that's because we have limitations of the existing structure that's there now. We would love to bring it all the way down to the finished floor, but I don't think we'll be able to do that because of the structure that they introduced a few years ago to stabilize the building. And we don't want to mess with the existing structure there.
Do we have a diagram or a picture of that area between the open deck and the second floor?
No,
You mean like a section of the building?
Yeah, a view of the proposed.
I think it would have been smart to come for a pre-app for this, because this is a lot to digest in a small amount of time. I don't know what other people's thoughts are.
I think Don is asking for pictures if you're standing on the deck on the western side looking east towards the building.
There's an elevation that shows that, yes. If you keep scrolling down, you'll come up with the elevation.
I think it also would have been helpful to see some pictures coming down the hill, just in light of the complaints that we received for the air conditioners on the roof of 3 Water Street.
Yeah, you have that too. We did introduce a picture coming down the street. I'm not sure if it's in this package right now, but we did provide it.
So,
I think
it's just those,
page 30.
just those 2 windows then. It's not
it's a
the full
door,
wall.
it's a door.
No, that's the door from the existing dining room having access to the proposed deck. And here you can
Okay.
see the relationship of the existing vents or fans
Yep.
from the
Yeah, I
kitchen to the deck.
Yeah.
And you can see where, it calls the proposed wall that's going to hide those, built with the same material that's already existing there as part of the building. And the new wall new finishes will be again the same thing that's in the existing building. And that's the view I believe you requested to look
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
And
Go
this is
back,
the existing. The top one is
Peter,
the
it's not the
existing.
go back. Is there any issue with the seating and the proximity to the vents, Peter?
There's my mute. I gotta look at it. I don't even know what the dimension is off of that from where it's at.
That's the
Yeah,
vent from the pizza ovens. Are you concerned about noise or smell or sound? I'm not sure.
All
Yeah,
of the
smoke,
above.
all the above.
Oh, yes.
If you're
Everything.
sitting in that deck,
Looks like it's exhausting at 8 feet high off of there, so I think that'd be fine.
Yeah, I don't see any issues with that. Plus, it's a pizza vent. It's not the grease vent. That's only to exhaust the excess heat from the pizza oven. There's no greasy cooking in that particular hood at all. It's only that revolving pizza oven that they have where they cook pizzas. So it doesn't require anything for grease traps or anything for that. The one beyond it, yes, that's for the fryers, and that's a different kind of exhaust.
Are you guys worried though, Don and Bill and Bonnie, because you raised the point of noise and everything? I mean, you're smacking a deck for a restaurant right next to residential homes.
The resident, I mean, I'm not trying to, I mean, what this is looking at is the John Kelly statue.
Correct.
Right.
So
I know what you're saying. There's to the north of the John Kelly, there is a home. You're right, but
We've got all 4 of them up the hill, plus the yellow one at the top, plus everything going up Bank Street. I'm not necessarily disagreeing. I'm just raising it as a point.
yeah. I mean, I would love to hear the neighbors. I would love to see this business go to the neighbors and get their agreement on it. I think that would be, but that's not in my jurisdiction. That's just me being a mysticer.
I'm just afraid that the SIFT deck that didn't come out as it should have, sort of, this may be the same thing all over again.
Yeah. I know what you're saying because of the condos across the parking lot.
No, just aesthetics and everything.
Yeah.
It's just a boxy square thing, but
well, that was kind of the direction that I was about to go in. Is it's a bit of a hodgepodgey building already, and I really like the concept of the new windows, but with the addition of the new windows and the deck, it creates even more of a hodgepodgey building. It's not There's not a lot of fluidity to it. I mean, if you go back to the street view, Peter, can you scroll to the photo, the actual photo, not the site plan? Like, there's already a lot going on, and now we're gonna add beautiful windows I really like, but don't blend with the bottom windows at all, and then a deck on the top. You know, it's kind of making it a little bit worse. And I certainly understand the outdoor seating plan, and I'm not opposed to outdoor seating. I would just like to see something that blended a little bit better.
I think it looks pretty nice, actually. I mean, that did used to be a laundromat, so it's not really like.
Whether it was a laundromat before or not, it's still about the
I
structure and
know,
not about
but-
the business.
In my house used to be a bakery.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
it's not like the Bank of America building next door.
When you're presently looking at it as it is right now, it does give you the impression that there was a deck there before behind that straight cornice detail, hiding some of that sloping roof. Basically, what we're doing is we're taking that part of that sloping roof off and creating the deck behind it again.
I think the taking that slope off the roof off the front makes that more like a regular Greek revival, and it actually looks a
I
little
was-
better.
I was gonna say the same thing just now. Thank you for bringing it up. Yeah, that sloping roof was an addition, obviously, so it did take away from the other elevation of the Greek Revival building.
Were you able to address the outdoor seating for ADA?
Yes, if you look at the site plan, we're showing 4 seats where that red car is right now. There's on the other side between the bank space or now the brewery space. We're providing some outdoor space there for sitting. There's a right of way, there's a 14-foot width. My client has 10 feet and the rest goes to the brewery. And
Where that car is?
yes, if you look at the site plan, I'm not sure if you can scroll to the site plan. I think just after there you go, see it?
Oh,
That
2 feet.
solid, that dark line is his property line. And that's because of code requirements more than anything. Once you provide outdoor seating, you have to accommodate outdoor seating for handicap accessibility.
Is there any chance you could put those folding windows in the downstairs to match it?
We didn't talk about that. I'm not sure. I mean, the downstairs works for him well right now with the air conditioned space that he has.
Yeah. Yeah, I
This way
guess
he
that's
provides
true.
both air conditioned space and outdoor space. He provides both what he needs.
I think it could be done better, personally. But that's simply my opinion.
I also think you just need more specs and details on the materials.
We did provide the specs there. If you keep scrolling down, you're going to see all the specs for the rail and for the shading.
What's the sliding door made out of? Like, what's the window sizes?
The window sizes are 5 by 6. There's a standard; those are standard windows. We'd like to get them as large, a little larger if possible. We're not going to know if we can until we do some selective demolition and locate the existing structure that's there, this metal structure, so we know what the rough opening we can do. Those are standard size right now. That's why we're going with those. If we do go with special size windows, I know that there's going to be a huge premium cost, but right now they're 5'4" width by 6'3" height.
I'm just saying, there's nothing about the rails, there's nothing about the materials, there's nothing about anything, there's no scales, there's whatever. I mean,
I'm pretty sure, I don't know if which drawing it is, but we do have the rails there also, specs for the
I saw
rails.
a picture of it. But does it have,
They're your typical stainless steel rods. With the top rail is going to be wood.
if you could just call out the materials exactly and add all that.
It was in a written form. I don't see it here, but it was in a written form, like for the canvas of the shading rail. We had the same thing. It was in a written form. It's basically stainless steel cable with the top rail being wood.
I believe you. I just, it helps if we can see it.
And we call it on that particular picture too. And here too, we're calling it again, rail.
And I'd like to have dimensions on that deck so we know how wide it is. Exactly, you know, what we're approving. Just, I mean, I know you've got the vent limiting it, but
still, like, what kind of door, what's the size of the door?
Yeah, the door is a standard 6 foot wide sliding door.
Just
Uh,
put it on the stuff, that's all. What company makes it, you know?
So where are we exactly with this application? We can go a couple of different ways. You know, right now we're giving the direction that he needs to add additional materials to his, to his site plan. So, you know, if those materials aren't on here, we can continue it to the next hearing. For those materials to be added, I don't know if anybody has any other direction as to, and if they are on here, we can move it to a vote if that's the way he wants. I don't know if anyone has any other direction for modifications to a site plan. I'm just not sure where the commission's moving at this point and giving our applicant direction as his best foot forward.
I like it. And I think that I'd be happy if we just had some more dimensions, more materials and some specs that were, I'm sure he said he sent them, maybe he did, but they're not all on the application.
Okay.
I'm curious how that awning there, I mean, how's that attached to the building? And that I see a pole, with a couple of lines there. You know, we need those dimensions too, specs. I mean, how do you put that awning up and down? I think that's, if I heard him right, he said it in bad wind and stuff, they're gonna take the awning down. I mean,
It clicks right on. If you look at the specs on the awning itself, it has the, you can see how, well, there you go, you just passed it.
Clip.
It has a metal ring at the end of it that you,
Keep going up.
You're gonna scale the roof in high winds to take down the awning?
high roofs? No, we're talking about 8 foot high for those rails. It's not high, you're not.
No, but your
Fine.
picture shows it going to the peak, so you're gonna scale the
No.
roof to go unclip it?
It may be deceiving looking at it, but it doesn't go to the peak. It goes to the side of the building and to the side of the new wall.
Peter, can you scroll up to that awning drawing?
One more, I think. There you go.
Doesn't really show what it's attached to.
Sure looks like it goes to the roof to me.
Agreed.
I think it's the way the photograph is taken. I mean,
Maybe
if-
you could give us some more detail.
We
on
just
how
didn't
that's
want to put umbrellas up there. That's why we did the sail. I thought felt much more mystic using a sail rather than umbrellas.
That's fine. We just
Just to
need
provide
to
some
see how
shade.
they're connected.
And judging by the
Again,
person on the deck, that back wall is roughly 6 feet tall.
It's a little higher. It's like 7.5 foot. It lines up with the existing
Eve.
roof fascia on the existing roof. So it's approximately 7.5 feet high.
I,
with
I
that
think, I think, Stephen, I think that the point that the commission members,
Need more info.
we need more detail. We need more dimensions. So like, as Bill pointed out, the height of that back wall should be detailed on the plan. The sizes of the windows should be detailed on the plan so that we can see them in context. I will say personally that when I look at the two elevations of the building, the existing elevation and the new one, I think the building looks better with
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
low sloped roof removed. I don't think it's architecturally significant, and I think it's not particularly attractive. But I think that we need more detail. As far as how the awnings come up or down, I'm not sure that's within the purview of the commission. I mean, if that's up to the owner to deal with that, and I'm not sure it's our concern. But I think we do need some more detail in a comprehensible manner for us to really look at it. So as Eric said, it's a lot to absorb in a public hearing in which we're expected to vote on it on first impression.
Yeah, like what's that back wall going to be made out of? Do we
It's
even know?
wood. It's wood,
mean,
and same finishes as the existing building. Granted, I understand. I mean, if you're looking for construction documents, we are going to start doing construction documents. We just felt that getting through the commission first before we go to the next step, planning and zoning, and of course for the building department. I mean, the drawings will be evolving in much more detail as we go further on.
The
If you look at
Right,
this-
I understand that, but we need we need that for our application and, but, you know, and to further expand on what Todd said, you know, me personally, I don't really love the aesthetics of it. I think that removing the sloping roof makes it look a little bit better, but I think that it could be done better than what you have and, you know, maybe explore, you know, maybe enclosing it a little bit more so that it's more private, so you don't disturb the surrounding neighbors and see what that looks like. I think that it's a bit of a hodgepodgey building already, and I don't think this makes it look all that much better. And I would be interested to see if there was maybe enclosing other walls to see what it looked like from your perspective, in addition to the additional materials that need to be put on the site plans.
Well,
I'd
also
like
would
to
really
add
like-
one thing about, we gave the bank next door a lot of hard time, not hard time, just asked for some definition of that public space with the planters. That those two seats on the side are just kind of floating out there. I think that
Right.
needs to be a little more defined and how that's going to be divided from the public space.
Right.
Two comments. I would like to see it, if possible, rendered coming down the hill, just so we can get a sense of what it looks like on Main Street from that traditionally photographed view. The second thing is I think the detail is important to avoid the problem we're having with the bank, so that there's not a we said this, they said whatever going forward.
yeah, I agree.
And this is just my opinion, but what would people think about those second floor windows, like not being those kind of eyebrow things that open up and just be windows that more match the windows on the first floor?
Yeah, I mean, Peter, can they even break the property line? I thought you couldn't cross over into the DOT, or it's not, is that Route 1? I don't know.
Those windows, they don't project any more than the existing canopy that's there now. They don't project any more further, and they're much, much higher than that particular. So it's not going to interfere with the sidewalk, if that's one of the concerns that you're having.
I don't know, Sarah, what's your opinion in this, as part of your hodgepodge thing? Does those windows bother you going up like that, or?
It's a bunch of different things. So I really like the windows, but they don't match anything else. And then you have the awnings plus the canopies, and I'm sure we all remember what the canopies looked like at the bank. And then you have this solid wall on the top of the back, and it just doesn't, I don't know, I don't like it. Which isn't a reason to not approve it, but I think that it needs to blend a little bit more. You just have a lot of different stuff going on here. Nothing's tying it together.
The solid wall in the back is basically just to hide or separate the existing exhaust from the kitchen.
No,
from the
I
porch.
understand that, but it's another different element, and that's why I said maybe, trying to enclose the porch and just having it be open roof, and that way it provide, some sound barrier to your neighbors and still give you the outdoor seating that you're looking for.
Make the front elevation hideous, I think.
I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Yeah, I think what Sarah's trying to say is you have two commission members that are a little taken back by it, and we're just asking you to explore some other things that you can choose to do or not do. But as it stands right now, you've got two of us who aren't in love with it the way that it is. And I understand with what you're dealing with too. It's not an easy building to work with.
As far as being the outdoor space, if we enclose it, it defeats the purpose of doing the outdoor space. That's why we, calling it outdoor space. If we enclose it all around, it becomes, enclosed
I think
space.
what she was alluding to is just putting a roof on it. Not
Anything, just try a different design, so, play with it a little bit.
So if we take the sails off, would you be happy if we eliminate the sails?
It'd be a step.
Personally, I think it's a lot of things. I agree with Sarah. I think I like the windows out front, but I wish all the windows looked like that. I understand the patio. I don't love the sails, but that's just me. But you've got this like random back wall just kind of hanging out there. And I think that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And not really in keeping with anything. But I understand you're trying to screen the vent. So I don't, I think that's the reason why, if you're doing something like this, a lot of people come for pre-apps, because this conversation could have been had then.
Are you going to see that back wall from the street?
No, not from the street. This is as you're coming down the hill, you may get a glimpse
Well,
of
when
it.
you're coming down the hill, yeah.
You'll see it when you're coming from the church.
This is the most you're going to see it from this particular view.
No, I mean, if you're coming down the hill and you're at the Kelly statue or at the witch house, you're gonna see it.
Yeah.
Well, if you're at the statue, yes. If you're at the statue, absolutely, you're going to see it. This is standing in front of, I believe it's Advanced Improvements, which is further up the street. And that's the most you're going to see. When you're standing across the street from it, you're not going to see it. When you're
Well,
walking,
You might want to consider knocking down the corners of the wall. You're blocking the exhaust hood, which is more or less in the center. I think you might be able to cut the edges off and make it more of a triangular wall, and that might lessen the effect, especially when it reaches what is the
that's a possibility. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good idea.
western edge of the building. I also would agree with your comment that I do not think that you should extend the walls around that seating area any higher at all. I think it would be a disaster for the people sitting in there.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I
But
mean,
I like the idea of
if I
cutting
want
the
to go
corner.
eat out in a cave with no, and I'll go here, but otherwise, bad idea.
What about just taking the corbels though in the half wall and just running it around the whole building? So at least it squares the building off, and then just hide the vents behind it.
Okay, I apologize. Can you repeat that? What
So-
do you-
Take the cornice or these corbels, whatever that's called, from the Mystic Pizza sign, run it like it is existing, turn it back on Bank Street, but run it all the way to the back of the building as just one solid facade. Then you don't have this like chopped up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
actually,
agree.
we did that on Bank Street. We did turn that on Bank Street. That doesn't exist yet. That's new. That's being proposed.
Put the
but
sail
what
to
you-
cover the vent.
But what you're saying is continue it between the vent and the deck. Yeah, that can be
Yeah,
done.
run it all the way to the back corner of the building and then return it to the building. So it'll like
It's a
tie
U.
into the roof, but at least you're carrying that elevation around the building. And
Yeah,
it's
that can be
a little
done.
less.
Yeah, that can be done. My only concern with that is I don't know if I can get it high enough to hide the vents. That's my only concern. You may have to. I still like the idea of cutting the corner.
Plants.
Yeah, but anything's better than
Put plants back there.
anything what you've got is better than there's no screening on any of that mechanical right now. So you add anything, it's going to be better than it is. But it's not so much to hide the mechanical. It's more just to complete the look. I mean, I still don't love it, but I think it might be better looking.
We can also reduce the height of that wall. I mean, we can, I mean, as long as it's high enough to hide the equipment, and even a 6 foot would hide it. So people standing, the eye level will be.
No, I'm not talking about the, Peter, do you know what I'm saying? Can you do it with your mouse? Like, I'm not saying the wall on the back to drop that. I'm saying take the corbels and run it
Go back to,
around.
So go back to that original picture.
go
yeah.
right to there and just show,
Yeah.
show where he wants to extend it down. He wants to extend that.
Run
down
that. No, down. Go to the corbels.
The corbels, that
Now
part of
go
the wall, extend that to the back corner of the building and return it.
Take that. Yeah, exactly. And then run it back that way. So you create a big U. So you get rid of that sloped roof altogether.
All the way down, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that can be done. I may get end up with some issues with the drainage, with the rain.
So put a
But
roof
we
drain.
we can make that work. We can make that work.
That would at least complete the look and it will square it off. More so than what you got
I'm
now.
just trying to do the minimum possible as far as we didn't want to change too much of the building. That was the only reason. But yeah, that we could do that. We can extend that.
Eric, are you saying also to extend it around to the back, across the back too?
Yeah. So just like it carries across the front, I would carry it down the whole side and then carry it and die it back into the sloped roof in the back.
Yeah, I turn the corner and let it die in, Don. I wouldn't keep going because at that point it's going to be laid up against the balance of the slope roof, which will look kind of ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's kind of a good point. You know what you could do is though, is just put a cricket back there and then you don't have to worry about the drainage problems at all and just shoot it off the back into a scupper.
This is getting too detailed. I think we should come back and look at it.
Well, I think the
No.
point though is something that's I mean, it seems like people are taking it, which
my,
is to
only,
kind of complete that look.
my only concern, if we take it all the way across and turn it, it changes the building from a Greek revival to imperial design. I don't want to change the whole building. I like the idea of that particular wall, that the screening wall, cut it diagonally so it's not as high at the end.
Yeah, but respectfully, like you're not preserving a Greek revival at this point. You're not changing it to anything. You're changing it to like less of a hodgepodge than you would be changing it to, quite frankly.
Okay.
At least if you continue those corbels in that whole cornice, it's not like you've got this weird little corner that looked like someone threw it on, you know, at some point in the 80s. Now you're at least like making it look like two separate things.
Well, I also think there's plenty of precedent for the last 300 years in Mystic of building owners having a Greek revival and coming back and changing it to a Victorian because that was what they wanted to do. So say that's what you're doing here. You're just adding some other architectural elements. But I think Eric's point is that the building will look more tied together and better knit together if you continue that line down the.
I don't know. I think that it's gonna accentuate those vents even more. They're gonna be taller and so I'm
Why
not
is that?
sure that's gonna look better.
Why is it going to accentuate the vents, Bonnie?
Oh, you're saying keep the sloped roof and then just.
Yeah.
cover-
Oh, yeah, you keep the slope roof there, Bonnie.
Oh,
You
Just a
basically
fake
you're
wall
basically
going
building a
across.
parapet. You're building a parapet.
Just a fake parapet.
well,
I
yeah,
think,
you can't. And then I totally agree. I get what Todd's saying. You can't go around the back.
Yeah, but you can return. You can return.
Yes,
it
yeah,
and die
yeah.
into the
Alright.
slope.
Yes. That would be, yeah, I agree with that.
Just put a cricket behind it. You can shoot the water off the back.
well, I mean, we can still like have it falling back into the same gutter. So we can make that work.
You can put
It's
scuppers.
gonna take some gymnastics, but we can make it work.
Yeah.
So have we been clear enough with our suggestions for you?
Yeah, I have no problem with any of that. I have to run it by the client, obviously. I don't think he's going to have any issues, to be honest with you. One of the things that we are trying to do is trying to get all the approvals in play prior to spring. Hopefully, we have it up and running by end of March, beginning of April. And we should have started maybe a little bit earlier, but we didn't. And That's why we're here now, trying to get to the next step. If you table it for the next meeting, I think it's what, next February? Is the next meeting?
No, it
No,
should
no, no, it's January.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now?
January
January 18th.
January 18th.
The only thing we'd say is like, if you're going to redo the plans, try to get it to us earlier. So everybody has a chance to look at it before the night of the hearing.
Yeah, I can do that. Even this ones, they were in, I think, 3 weeks ago, all these drawings. But is it possible to meet before the formal meeting with everybody that's concerned about what we talked about? So when we do have the formal meeting, I give you everything you're looking for?
No,
Is that a possibility?
Not really. We've never done that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
But I
we have
think,
to have a special hearing and we can't do that.
I think we're pretty clear what we're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, we can extend that. That is not an issue. We can extend that. And we can even lower the screen to the point where just enough for visual. I mean, the height was also for visual and for sound, just in case it gets kind of loud with the fan. But I mean, the proximity to the deck, it is what it is. We're not moving the vents. We're not rearranging the kitchen. And again, we just want to provide some outdoor seating to say we have outdoor seating. It's not, when you compare the percentage of the seating that we're doing outside to what a restaurant, has for seating, we're talking about maybe what, 10% of the seating, maybe 15, which is, just enough so we can say we have outdoor seating.
Okay. Should we move on?
Yep. So does anyone have any other comments or recommendations for the applicant? No. All right, I move to continue.
Agree. A second.
Lost it. I don't know the number anymore. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll do a roll call for Linda.
Aye.
Goodman,
Aye.
Moriarty, aye. Nault,
Aye.
Brady,
Aye.
Levinson.
Aye.
All right, the application's continued.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've lost my agenda. Oh, it's coming up. Thank you. SIFT isn't on. I don't see Mr. McCarrick. And we did Crowley. All right, so I will close. Oh, we need to continue Mr. McCarrick. I move to continue HGC 21-54.
Second it.
All in favor? Lost my people. Goodman,
Aye.
Moriarty, aye. Nault,
Aye.
Brady,
Aye.
Levinson.
Aye.
All right, I am closing public hearings. And now I'm opening up consideration of public hearings. HGC 21-54, 20 Pearl Street. Oh, he continued, sorry.
Yeah.
HGC 21-55, 2 Eldridge, John and Carolyn Crowley, owner Zachary Hughes, applicant. This was that addition on the Gravel Street application. Any comments or motions?
I make a motion to approve it.
Yeah, I would like to amend that motion to approve it with the understanding that we are approving the most recently submitted elevation
Yeah. Only.
only. Yeah.
Okay, any other comments? Seconds?
I'll second it.
Okay, Don, you got it.
All in favor, Goodman?
Aye.
Moriarty, aye. Nault,
No, aye.
Brady,
Aye.
Levinson.
Aye.
The application is approved as amended. I think that's the only one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Pre-application hearings. Who do we have in the audience? I see Mr. Springsteel.
Yes, I am here. Can you hear me?
We can
Yeah.
hear you.
I am here tonight for Annie and Tom Haling, and they're at 158, 160 High Street. And if I can grab the screen. I can, okay, so. So you can see the map here. This is High Street, West Main Street. 156, 158 is right at this location here, sort of. This is the cliff that runs along Bank Street right here. So this property sits up high. And we'll be looking at this outbuilding right here that sits in the rear of the yard. Let's see, stop share. And here we have a survey of the property. And again, here's High Street. We have a main building right here. And we have a garage occupying this area. And then we have the outbuilding, which is an accessory guest house. And again, you can see the cliff basically dropping off here. This building's pretty hard to see from the public way. You do have a shot at it right here, past the garage, and you get a little peekaboo right through here to this end of it. And now I'm going to bring up some photos. I'm going to bring up some photos. Here we go. So if you look at this photo right here, High Street is up in this direction and the cliff is back over here. This building was built, best I can tell, on 3 separate phases. This is the original structure right here, which is historic. It's old. I don't know what the date is on it, but it's old. Then there was this piece in the middle that was added on at a later date. And then this piece at the end was added on even further down the road. And it looks like an 80s edition, possibly, or 70s or 80s edition. And it's quite modern. So you go from more historic to a transition to a more modern element at the very end. And our plan here is to make some changes to the modern end of this house. This is the back end. There are some places downtown where you can kind of pick this elevation out, but it's not easy. It's hard to see. And then we're also making some modifications to the center piece here. And then we are removing this chimney, which is on the back of the older portion of the building. Now, I don't think this chimney is particularly historic. I think it was added on later in that building's life, but we are proposing to remove that. And it's
What's it
actually not
for?
that visible from the street.
What was the chimney for?
There's a fireplace inside. I think right now this building is all finished off as a living quarters, and it's going to remain that. I think the first iteration of this building was probably not living quarters. It was either a garage or a utility building. I don't think that fireplace was there early on. Based on what I see for the brick here, that looks like an addition to me. All right, I'm going to show you some drawings now. So this is the original older building. Presently, there's a door here, which we're proposing to remove and put a window there. The diamond window is there. It's existing. These windows are all existing. It has vertical board siding on it, and it's in really rough shape. So we're going to replace that with like for like siding on that structure. We're going to continue that siding all throughout this whole building. In the center section of the building, we're going to add a more announced entrance in the center of it and rework the location of the windows with with double hungs to match the existing windows in the house. And then on the more modern end section here, we're going to bring it back a little bit more traditional. There's a loft up in the roof area. We're proposing to put a dormer on that to get a little bit more room out of it. This is a porch addition, both a deck on the second level and then a porch on the lower level.
That's facing High Street.
This facade here is facing the backyard of the
Oh, okay,
property.
great. This, which side's facing High Street?
This is the side that faces High Street.
Okay,
So what you see from High Street really is just this piece right here and some of this, because the garage sits in front of it. I'll go back to the site plan to show you that again. And then this is the back facing the neighbor's yard. Doesn't look too much different than it does today, other than we've removed the chimney right here. And the fenestration's changed up a little bit in order to accommodate what we're doing on the inside. And
And you
then the
got
stairway
rid of
gets,
modern window.
sorry, what was that?
You got rid of that modern window.
Right, we got rid of all the modern windows. This is the facade that you might see some of from downtown. You probably see the top half of this. And right now, there's a tall, slender window with an angled top on it that we're proposing to remove. And then these are all new windows, all double hungs. This is a new outdoor stairway that gets you to the deck over the porch. And this is the head-on elevation view of what you see from the backyard of the existing house. In plan, really the only footprint change is this porch addition and this stairway, exterior stairway addition here. And then this is the loft area presently is about half of this. So we're proposing to bump that out with the dormer and then the deck off of that. And this is a new gable roof over the front entranceway.
Looks much nicer.
Good. We'll probably be using a clad window with simulated divided lights for all these windows and doors. Going to a 2/2 back in this area because they have some wonderful views of downtown and brings in more light that way. But you'd see the 2/2 in some of the more modern window types of the traditional style. But the old building will keep the same window styles. And the center building will keep the same window styles. And there's architectural asphalt shingles on the roof. We would probably carry that same type of shingling on the rest of it. We will, I should say.
What's the siding gonna be made out of?
The siding will probably use a composite material, but it'll have a wood-like effect. I can provide some samples of that. When you look at it, you won't know the difference between whether it's wood or composite. It'll be a painted look. So you won't know the difference, but it'll hold up better. The front building here is very close to the ground plane. And so they're getting a lot of rot along the perimeter of that. So this composite material will remedy that situation, but you'll still have the same appearance. And again, this is the facade facing High Street. Go back to that site plan so you can see the relationship. So again, this is the building we're talking about. This is that facade you see from the street looking down through the driveway. This is a big 1.5-story garage. And I guess next time I'll provide some pictures of that in the front of the house. But this garage pretty much blocks the view of the rest of the structure here. And as I said, from downtown, you can see some of this end of the building if you're looking for it very carefully. And there might be a slight peekaboo here to the very end. You'll see the porch actually here when you look through here. Today you won't see that because there's a hedge along here, but thinking about the hedge being gone someday, you will see through here.
Peter, can you just scroll to the existing photos so I can remember what it looks like before?
Sure. So this photo here, can you see that okay?
Yep.
There's these skylights and there's no fenestration on this wall here. On the modern end. We're essentially taking this door system and we're moving it to the middle of the connector and basically flanking it with a window on either side. So the arrangement of that is a little different, but style of it's pretty much the same. And that rear view is here somewhere. Yeah,
Peter,
this
what are
is-
you doing? What are you doing with the skylights there? They going?
Those are totally gone. This roof line comes off and then there's a dormer and the porch and the deck. So this appearance here is totally different now.
Yeah. Much better.
And then this thing that you see on the back here, will be gone. There'll be a more traditional roof form here. And actually, see how this offset is right here? That's going to change to a regular gable. So you don't have that 1975 look that somebody put in there. And the same thing here, you'll now see the roof returning down here.
Yeah, if you could just have pictures with the main house and how it compares with that. and the
Sure.
garage, that would be good.
Okay.
I'm familiar with the house, but it should be in that application.
Yep.
And if you could take pictures from the back view too, if possible.
Yeah, well, I think now all the leaves are gone, so we'll be able to see better back there. It's hard to see with all the leaves, but I can take some new pictures and we'll see more of it.
I think it looks great, Peter.
Yeah, very nice.
I was just trying to remember what it looked like. Once I saw the new pictures, I couldn't remember what the old pictures looked like.
Sure, I understand.
So,
And then you can see that diamond window there, and this is the door that we're removing.
okay.
Okay,
Does anyone have any other comments or questions or direction for the applicant?
What happens to that concrete like foundation underneath that weird triangular window?
that remains, Don. It's you can see that it's recessed back. You can't see that from anywhere from a public way. It's very well hidden and it's down low, but that will stay there. The mechanical room is in there with the heating system and all.
Okay,
And the new stairway that we're putting on from the upper deck is going to cover up some of that. But you can't see this from anywhere in a public way. Okay.
Yeah, looks
All right.
great.
Thanks, Peter.
All right. Thank you, guys. I'll put in an application for the next meeting.
Very good. See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
All right, I don't think we have any other pre-apps. Approval of the minutes. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped over public communications. Peter, any public communications?
No, nothing to report.
All right, approval of the minutes from December 21, 2021.
I'll make-
Go ahead, Bonnie.
I'll make a motion to approve them.
I second. All in favor, Moriarty, aye, Brady,
Aye.
Levinson,
aye.
no,
Aye.
Goodman?
I just abstained because I wasn't there.
Okay.
You can vote anyway, Eric.
The minutes are approved. Old business. Do we have any old business, Peter?
I just have a question now that we're talking about pizza parlors. A lot of work going on at Pete's Head. I don't recall, maybe it was meetings I missed or something. All that
It
stuff
was
was.
about 2
yeah,
years
we
ago, I
saw-
think,
Yeah, I asked
where
the
we
same
approved the
thing a
big addition.
month or so ago, and they said it was already
It was
approved.
a while ago.
It was a long-
It
Years.
was right when I first started.
Okay.
Do you want me to try and find the applications?
I believe you. Just Peter, we'll trust on Peter to double check that they're doing what we approved. So
Right.
It's my,
Find that
project.
contractor over there.
It's my project, Don.
all right, double check it then.
Triple check it.
All right, new business HDC 21-23 Orchard Lane, review of finished application based on current condition.
Yeah, I might have to blend on that one. I don't know what that one's about.
Okay. Well,
Is
table
that
that till next.
my neighbor with the fence?
3 Orchard Lane, I don't recognize that address.
Peter, that's the one with the fence in the back. We had a phone call from a gal earlier this week.
Oh, okay, that's right, thank you. I needed the reminder.
3 Orchard Lane.
That was the one you guys approved, it must have been the spring, and it had the chain link fence in the back. We
Oh,
received,
that young woman who she had 3 different types of fences.
yes, we
Yes.
received a complaint from somebody on that.
I remember, I'm looking at the house now. Yeah, she had chain link fence, was hard to see based on her photos. And then she had, I think she had dogs.
There's like a picket fence across the front, which
Right.
she did because I walk by there every day. But then there was like chain link down the side, and then there was some other fence. I don't really remember though.
So is this request for us to take a look and see if what we approved is what she did?
Yeah, I believe that she wants to know what she can do if she might want to come in and put up her own fence type of thing. And
Okay,
I think she lives on the back side of it.
gotcha.
What
All
was
right,
specifically wrong just because I walk by there?
She's saying that it's visible from a right of way from one of the roads.
Yeah, but
And that the chain link fences shouldn't be approved if they're visible from a road.
That we shouldn't have approved a chain link.
Correct.
okay,
And she was-
She did.
and she was frustrated, so.
all right. Linda, if you don't mind, I'll email you tomorrow, and if you can just send me the application or the approval.
Yes, yep, no problem.
Okay,
Because I pulled it out when the gal gave us a phone call and
Okay.
Tom looked at it. So yeah, we've got it easily available.
well, I guess that's a question. If Tom looked at it, do we need to do anything?
Yeah,
I
she
thought
had
there
that
was-
we approved the fence because we did approve the chain link fence.
I'll get a report from Tom to bring back to the commission next meeting. Just to
Okay.
see what his opinion is on it when he went out and took a look at it.
Okay, thank you. I don't know how it can be election of officers on the agenda. I feel like we just did.
I thought we just did that.
Do we want to deal with that or do we want to table it?
Well, you are all here, so there is that.
We're missing John.
Oh, so true. Sorry. But, well, never mind.
Didn't we just,
I'd say table it. I'm hungry.
didn't we just do it?
I feel like we did, but I think we table it usually until like August and then we do it and then it gets,
Yeah, I thought we just did too.
okay. We'll deal with that next meeting. Everyone's tired. Any other new business? No? All right, then
Any updates on our friends at the brew pub?
nope, I believe Tom was doing his letter writing campaign and we were going that route.
Yeah,
Because I still see that They got their fluorescent lights going. I still see
They keep
those.
putting those up. Yep.
They have the 30 days for the response and then we'll figure it out from there.
So, all right.
When does the 30 days begin, Peter?
It began when he sent out the letter, which I submitted last meeting. I don't know what the date was on that. What was the last meeting? That was December.
December
21st.
20.
Yeah, so it's like middle of December, so middle of January, it'll be 30 days will be up.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? All right, I move to adjourn.
I second it.
Excellent. Good night, everybody.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.